From the moment we wake up, the world demands our attention, conversations, obligations, and the constant noise of life. But have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite all this connection, you sometimes feel disconnected from yourself? Why does the endless rush of life leave you feeling lost, drained, or even stuck? This isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a sign, a call to pause, to reflect, and to reconnect with who you truly are. Self-awareness is not just a buzzword, it's the foundation of personal growth and the key to unlocking a more meaningful life. In this video, we'll explore the power of silent reflection and how understanding yourself can transform the way you live. Let's dive in. 1. Trust issues. Trust is like a vase. Once broken, it can be mended, but it will never be the same again. This truth resonates deeply with anyone who has faced the pain of betrayal. Trust is both a fragile gift and a calculated risk, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us. If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed. Trust, like truth, demands clarity, resilience, and patience, yet its strength can be undone by even the smallest mistake. Betrayal becomes a turning point for many, altering not only how they perceive others but also how they perceive themselves. The aftermath of broken trust leaves lingering echoes of doubt. Every smile, word, or gesture from others becomes suspect. This emotional wound often leads to withdrawal, not out of indifference but out of fear. From a Stoic perspective, this withdrawal may appear to be an effort to control external factors, but it is in fact a failure to manage inner reactions. Epictetus wisely observed, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." Consider the story of Lily, who once confided in a trusted friend about her struggles with anxiety. When she later discovered her friend had shared her vulnerabilities with others in a careless manner, Lily withdrew. Her vigilance in analyzing every interaction for signs of betrayal became a defense mechanism, but it also prevented her from forming the meaningful relationships she longed for. Stoic philosophy teaches us that, while the pain of betrayal is beyond our control, how we respond to it is entirely within our power. Restoring trust is no easy task. It requires patience, self-reflection, and selective openness. Vulnerability, though often seen as a weakness, is a testament to our humanity. The process begins with small steps, sharing a little, observing how it is received, and gradually opening up as trust develops. Trust is built through authentic moments and tested in adversity. Take John, for example. After experiencing betrayal in a past romantic relationship, he questioned whether he could ever trust again. Years later, when he met someone new, he chose to take things slowly, balancing openness with discernment. Over time, he realized that while the risk of betrayal remained, the rewards of genuine connection far outweighed the fear. Stoicism reminds us that not everyone is deserving of our trust, and it is wise to evaluate others carefully. However, this self-protection should not become a prison. Seneca offers guidance. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. This applies to trust as well. The poverty of the soul does not come from being selective with trust, but from allowing fear to rob us of the richness found in human relationships. Ask yourself, are you protecting yourself, or are you imprisoning yourself? When you distrust others, are you also doubting your own judgment? These questions demand courage and honesty. Trust issues often reflect our own insecurities, creating a cycle of doubt that hinders both personal growth and connection. To break free, embrace Stoic wisdom, confront your fears, cultivate resilience, and take small steps toward vulnerability. Trust, though fragile, is the foundation of meaningful relationships, and the courage to rebuild it is a testament to your strength and humanity. 2. Low self-esteem. There are moments when the discomfort of being around others doesn't come from them but from within yourself. It's the silent, private voice in your head, whispering that you're not good enough, not interesting enough, not worthy of their time. Outwardly, you might appear composed, even confident, but inside, a storm of self-doubt convinces you that every social interaction is a minefield of judgment and rejection. You replay past conversations, analyzing every glance, every word, and every awkward silence, asking yourself, did I say something stupid? Did they notice my nervous laugh? This cycle drains your energy, leaving you dreading the next encounter and retreating further into isolation. Like a bird accustomed to life in a cage, you confuse isolation with safety, failing to realize the cage door has always been open. Stoic philosophy reminds us of a profound truth. The stories we tell ourselves shape the world we perceive. Your fear of judgment is not reality, it's an interpretation nurtured by an unchecked inner critic. Marcus Aurelius teaches us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This means your self-doubt is not a reflection of how others see you, but a reflection of how you see yourself. To change this, you must first silence that inner critic and question its narrative. Are these thoughts based on fact, or are they assumptions? When you pause to reflect, you'll realize the world is far less critical than your mind would have you believe. Consider the story of Elena, a young professional paralyzed by self-doubt. Outwardly, she seemed accomplished, a polished resume, eloquent communication, and a radiant smile. But internally, her mind was a battlefield. At a company dinner, she stood on the sidelines, quietly holding a glass of water, consumed by thoughts of inadequacy. Yet, to her surprise, a senior executive approached her, complimenting her work and praising her ideas. That moment shifted her perspective. Her self-criticism had blinded her to the goodwill of others. Elena's story illustrates a key Stoic lesson. Much of our suffering is self-inflicted, the result of an unchecked narrative. By challenging your inner critic, you can rewrite the story you tell yourself. Breaking free from the cycle of low self-esteem requires action and reflection. Start small. Smile at a stranger, initiate a brief conversation, or attend a social event. Each step is a hammer blow to the cage you've built around yourself. Practice self-compassion, treating yourself with the kindness you'd offer a friend. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and shift your perspective using the Stoic view from above. Imagine your life as part of a vast network of humanity, where the judgments you fear become insignificant. Ask yourself, will this matter in a month? A year? Probably not. The struggle with self-doubt is universal, but the good news is that it's not permanent. By embracing Stoic principles, you can quiet the inner critic, confront your fears, and reclaim your confidence. Remember, the world is far more forgiving than you think, and people are often too preoccupied with their own lives to judge yours. So, what story will you choose to tell yourself today? Will you remain trapped in the cage of doubt, or will you take the first step toward freedom? The choice is yours. 3. Social anxiety. Social anxiety is not just shyness. It is a silent, private battle where every interaction feels like a threat to one's sense of self. For those who struggle with it, even the simplest social exchange can feel overwhelming, as if preparing for a confrontation with fear and insecurity. It manifests physically, a racing heart, trembling hands, avoiding eye contact, and mentally, with an unrelenting stream of self-critical thoughts. Did I sound awkward? Was my laugh too forced? Did they notice my discomfort? These doubts create a cycle of overanalysis, leaving individuals feeling like spectators in their own lives, unable to engage freely. This condition often leads to avoidance, a temporary escape that only deepens the problem. Declining invitations and isolating oneself may feel like relief in the moment, but over time it erodes confidence, hinders social skills, and fosters loneliness. Charles Darwin, for instance, suffered from severe social anxiety, often avoiding public events due to the stress they caused. Yet his reclusiveness became a source of strength, allowing him to focus on his groundbreaking work. Darwin's story reminds us that while social anxiety can be a barrier, it also offers an opportunity to reflect on what truly matters. But for most, retreating from society is not a sustainable solution. How then can one navigate the demands of human connection while managing the instinct to avoid it? Stoic philosophy offers profound guidance. Social anxiety often stems from past experiences, moments of rejection or ridicule that leave emotional scars. These memories become triggers, magnifying the fear of judgment in future interactions. However, as Marcus Aurelius teaches, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoic approach encourages us to view the past not as a chain that binds, but as a lesson that liberates. By reframing past experiences as opportunities for growth, we can gradually loosen the grip of social anxiety. Breaking free from this cycle requires deliberate action. Start small, attend a brief event, initiate a short conversation, or make a phone call. Each small victory builds confidence. Practice self-compassion. Be as kind to yourself as you would to a friend. Celebrate progress, no matter how minor. Seek support, whether through therapy, trusted friends, or support groups, to share the burden of your anxiety. Finally, shift your focus outward. Instead of fixating on how others perceive you, ask yourself, what can I contribute to this moment? This aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your actions and intentions. While excessive isolation can be harmful, intentional solitude is a powerful tool for self-reflection and renewal. In solitude, you can ask yourself meaningful questions. What truly matters to me? How can I align my actions with my values? Solitude allows creativity and self-inquiry to flourish, helping you find peace away from the fear of judgment. By balancing time alone with gradual steps towards social interaction, you can maintain your personal identity while building confidence. Ultimately, overcoming social anxiety is not about eradicating it, but learning to navigate it with resilience and calm. As Epictetus reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. By confronting your fears, practicing self-control, and embracing vulnerability, you can transform anxiety into an opportunity for growth. Social anxiety is not a permanent barrier, but a call to reconnect with yourself, find strength in solitude, and approach the world with renewed purpose and dignity. Ask yourself, what steps can I take today to challenge my fears and move closer to the life I want to live? The answer lies in your willingness to act. 4. Spending time with the wrong people. In life, every relationship leaves an imprint on our soul. But when we spend time with the wrong people, these imprints can turn into scars, eroding our confidence, clarity, and inner peace. Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This advice is especially relevant for those who silently endure the emotional toll of toxic relationships. Imagine being in a room where judgment lingers in every glance, where every word you speak feels scrutinized. Later, in private, you replay every moment, dissecting each silence and gesture, wondering if you said the wrong thing. Spending time with people who belittle your thoughts, dismiss your feelings, or criticize without empathy only heightens this anxiety, leaving you drained and questioning your worth. The consequences of toxic relationships are profound. Over time, the constant need to navigate negativity depletes your energy, leaving you emotionally exhausted and socially withdrawn. You may avoid interactions to protect yourself, only to find your confidence and social skills deteriorating further. Consider James, a young professional who spent years in a friend group where sarcasm and mockery were the norm. Every opinion he shared was met with laughter or biting remarks disguised as jokes. Over time, James stopped expressing himself, internalizing their narrative that he was overly sensitive. Only after distancing himself from this group did he realize how much they had stifled his growth. By seeking healthier relationships, James regained his confidence and rediscovered his voice. The Stoics remind us that solitude can be a powerful ally. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." When unsuitable relationships cause anxiety and doubt, solitude offers a silent, private refuge, a space to reflect, heal, and realign your values. Solitude is not about withdrawing from the world permanently, but about valuing your own company. By distancing yourself from toxic people, you reclaim the energy once wasted on negativity. This energy can be redirected toward pursuits that nourish your spirit, such as creative hobbies, mindfulness, or reading uplifting literature. Ask yourself, are the people in your life uplifting you or pulling you down? If the answer is the latter, perhaps it's time to choose solitude over toxicity. In solitude, you'll find clarity and strength to seek relationships that align with your values and foster growth. Remember, the quality of your relationships shapes the quality of your life. Will you continue to let unsuitable people drain your energy, or will you take the first step toward reclaiming your peace? The choice is yours. 5. You are an introvert. Solitude is not just the state of being alone, but also a space where the soul finds itself. In a world that often glorifies constant interaction and noise, solitude is misunderstood as loneliness or isolation. Yet, for introverts, it is neither. It is their sanctuary, a silent, private retreat where they reconnect with their inner selves and recharge their spiritual energy. Introverts do not dislike people. They simply do not feel the need to always be surrounded by them. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. For introverts, this stillness is not a weakness, but a source of strength, a place where they can think deeply, reflect, and find clarity. Solitude is not a negative state for introverts. It is freedom. Imagine a quiet room, soft lighting, and the absence of external demands, a space where they can let their thoughts wander freely. In this environment, introverts do not feel lonely. Instead, They feel most connected to themselves, liberated from societal pressure to perform or conform. Consider Haruki Murakami, the renowned writer who spends most of his time in solitude. For him, solitude is not a limitation but a tool to dive deeply into his inner world, producing masterpieces like Norwegian wood. His story reminds us that introverts thrive in private spaces where they can explore their thoughts without distraction. However, the modern world often challenges this natural tendency. The culture of constant openness and extroversion imposes an invisible pressure on introverts to adapt. When they decline group activities or avoid the spotlight, they are often labeled as shy, aloof, or even arrogant. Yet, what society often overlooks is the richness of their inner world, a vast galaxy of thoughts, dreams, and creativity. Emily Dickinson, one of history's greatest poets, lived a reclusive life, rarely engaging in social activities. Her solitude was not a rejection of the world, but a way to nurture her poetic genius. Her work, though unrecognized in her time, has since become a symbol of depth and introspection, proving that solitude can be a path to profound self-discovery. For introverts, solitude is not separation but self-preservation. In a noisy and chaotic world, they understand the importance of protecting their core. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Introverts do not seek endless connections but instead cherish meaningful relationships and moments of stillness. They know that their worth does not come from external validation, but from living authentically. Ask yourself, do you embrace solitude as a source of strength, or do you resist it out of fear of judgment? Introverts remind us that solitude is not a lack, but a completeness, a way to reconnect with our true selves. In a world that often demands more, they teach us the value of less, fewer distractions, deeper connections, and a richer inner life. Conclusion: understanding the reasons behind discomfort around others. Understanding why you feel uncomfortable around others is a powerful step towards self-awareness and personal growth. Through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we've explored 5 key reasons: trust issues, the lingering pain of betrayal, and the challenge of rebuilding trust; low self-esteem, the inner critic that distorts reality and fosters self-doubt; social anxiety, the fear of judgment and the exhausting cycle of avoidance; spending time with the wrong people, the emotional toll of toxic relationships, and the transformative value of solitude; being an introvert, the need for quiet spaces and the preference for meaningful, deep connections over superficial interactions. These insights remind us that discomfort in social situations is not only normal, but also an opportunity to grow. By facing these challenges, you can build resilience, cultivate wisdom, and live more authentically. Applying Stoic principles to your life. Stoic philosophy offers timeless tools to help navigate these struggles. Self-reflection. Regularly examine your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to gain clarity. Reframing perspective. Understand that external events are not inherently painful. It is your perception of them that causes distress. Setting boundaries. Protect your energy by surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. Embracing solitude. Use quiet, private moments to recharge and realign with your values. Gradual exposure. Take small, intentional steps to confront fears and build confidence in social situations. By applying these principles, you can approach relationships and social interactions with greater peace, intention, and meaning. Your turn to reflect. Now, it's your turn to reflect. Consider the following questions. Which of these reasons resonates most deeply with you? How have you applied Stoic principles to your daily life? What steps are you taking to address discomfort in social situations? Remember, the journey inward is a lifelong practice, not a destination. Take some time this week to carve out moments of quiet, even just a few minutes each day. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What am I grateful for? What steps can I take to align my actions with my values? Self-awareness is the foundation for a more authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling life. It's about understanding your strengths, accepting your imperfections, and living with intention. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more content on personal growth and Stoic wisdom. What are your favorite ways to practice silent reflection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and keep living a life of purpose.